This is the last day before the Supreme Court goes on summer recess. The justices could rule on several cases this morning. They could also decide whether to consider the Trump administration's appeal of a temporary travel ban. And we may hear about the future of Justice Anthony Kennedy. The swing voter on the high court is said to be considering retirement. Jan Crawford is at the Supreme Court. Jan, good morning.
Well, good morning, Charlie, you know that the last day of the term is always so exciting. You get these major cases. But this year, the court didn't really have those big blockbusters that it's had in the years past, maybe because they only had 8 justices until Justice Gorsuch was confirmed in April. So that means the big news today could be whether or not they decide to add a case for next year. The Trump administration is asking the justices to reinstate its travel ban of 6 majority Muslim nations. That's been blocked in the lower courts. Now, if the justices agree to hear this case, they could have arguments in October. If they don't, those decisions that block the ban would continue to stay in place. Charlie?
Jan, what about this talk that Justice Anthony Kennedy, the swing vote on the Supreme Court, may retire, giving President Trump another opportunity to nominate a Supreme Court justice?
Oh, Charlie, Justice Kennedy, he is widely expected to retire in the next year or two, but the question is when. He is 80 years old. He's been considering retirement. But here's the thing. He is a moderate conservative. So if he goes, that's going to give President Trump a massive opportunity to move the court further to the right for generations, and Democrats would basically be powerless to stop it. That's because they played all their cards trying to block Justice Neil Gorsuch, who was confirmed to replace Justice Scalia. And that led Senate Republicans to change the rules to end filibusters of Supreme Court nominations. But you know, Justice Kennedy, he's always a difficult justice to predict, as we have seen. But here's an interesting fact. On this day in 1987, Justice Lewis Powell retired. And you know who replaced him? Justice Anthony Kennedy.
Oh. Jan, thank you. She looks like she's in her element. Doesn't she look like she's having fun out there?
Yes, she does.